Hey everybody, welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where I answer the questions that my clients, plus you, tell me that you have about health and wellness. I know I have a different background today. I'm actually in Spokane with my daughter. It is my birthday. So we're going out for the evening. But of course, you know, that's what Wi-Fi is for. In the hotel. So anyway, have a great topic tonight. Just want to really quick, it's the season, right? Like we're all getting sick and our family's getting sick, and it's just that season where we're all indoors. So I want to talk a little bit about ways to kind of avoid being sick. One of the fascinating things that I found in the last few years is that I don't get sick like I used to in multiple ways, but I find that's because of one of the biggest reasons that we're going to talk about here in a second. But let's just talk really quickly about your microbiome, which is your gut. You know, it is the biggest reason that we either are healthy or get sick on a regular basis because it plays such a key role in your immunity. So if you think about this, a lot of this is common sense, but it floors me that most people think that, you know, well, I just get sick because I get sick. But there's some ways that you can really help fight off those illnesses, especially this time of year. And no, I don't mean just stay inside. Cold air does not make you sick. It's actually just the low level of immunity that you have in your system. So ways that we can help try to keep you from getting sick. At this point, really, the only time that I do tend to get sick is if I overdo it. So you can tell that obviously stress is one of the biggest reasons that we have a low immunity system. Our system gets low. You know, our cortisol raises, and it actually fights our ability to make white blood cells. And there's some more details in there that you don't care about anyway, but just know that, you know, a lot of stress, especially it's tax season too, so that doesn't really help anything, but stress can really play a huge role in lowering your immune system to try and help fight off the bacteria and things that are coming our way. And of course, if you're in a position where you tend to be working around a lot of people, you know, the more the things that you come in contact with, obviously, the more likely you are to get sick. However, again, there's some things that you can do to lower that. So when it comes to stress, obviously, ways around that are finding out how to lower your stress, which I know is not always easy. However, you know, that's something I've really learned to do in my now 44, yes, I'm 44 today, years, is really just learning to kind of back off when it's necessary, take some time off, relax a little bit. That is not always easy for me. I have a hard time holding still, but that is a big part of lowering our immune system is the amount of stress that we're under. So I find personally that the only time that I do get sick at this point is if I really, really overdo it. My body starts to kind of tell me, hey, you know, you need to take a break. So that's a big one. The second one that I want to talk about is actually poor diet. Now, of course, I know you're rolling your eyes at me and going, whatever, Melissa. But if you think about it, I'm going to get all comfy here. You know, your microbiome really is, like I said, plays a huge role there. And if you are continuously eating a lot of junk food and highly processed food, not only are you've got some nutritional deficiencies, because of course our body does not just work on calories. We talked about that during our Truth About Weight Loss series, but your body actually needs those nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, in order to support that gut health and also raise your immunity. So if you're eating a bunch of highly processed food, a lot of junk food, drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of pizza, once in a while is okay, but you actually destroy, you're not feeding the good bacteria in your gut, thereby you're lowering your immune system. So that's kind of a twofold issue where you've got some nutritional deficiencies, but you're also adding a lot of toxins to your system. You know, processed food has to remain shelf stable, and in order to do that, there's a lot of additives, preservatives, and chemicals in that food, you know, to help do that. So your system doesn't know what to do with that, and it can either do a couple of things. Number one, like I said, your microbiome has to respond to that. But the other thing is too, and I get this a lot with clients who are just starting to burn fat, is that your body stores it in your fat cells. So if you get to the point where you are doing something to burn off the fat in your system and get those adipose tissue to release the fat to use as energy, along with that fat, your body's actually releasing the toxins, all the preservatives that your body has stored, right? Because it can't remain in your system, it becomes toxic. So it stores that, and then when you burn the fat off, it actually re-releases that into your system and can make you sick again. So again, there's multiple things that happen. If you're really working hard to build muscle, it's very difficult for your body to keep your immune system up and build muscle at the same time. So make sure that you're doing things in conjunction with that to really help your immune system stay high so that you're not getting sick during I mean, really, you can get sick any time of year. It just depends on what's going around, how close proximity. I think really because this time of year it's cold out and we tend to be in close proximity to other people because we tend to be indoors more often than not, we tend to catch a lot more things. And it is the time of year where everybody's starting to go back to the gym. When I'm hitting multiple gyms, think about all of the different things that I'm coming in contact with, the bacteria, the viruses. So, keeping your hygiene good, washing your hands frequently. Obviously, I know that's common sense, but that's a pretty much enough said, right? If you take good care of yourself, make sure that you're cleaning your hands, washing your hands before you put things in your face, should help you to stay away from that. Now, I know there's such thing as a flu shot. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't get flu shots at this point because I find that usually with the flu shot, first of all, because the virus is changing so frequently, it tends to not really help me. If I don't know that I've ever gotten the flu shot and not gotten super sick from it, so I tend to avoid that. I just tend to support my immune system in other ways. So I eat really, really clean, eat really, really healthy the majority of the time. And again, I don't tend to get sick. I just don't really have a lot of issues with that. I think that eating clean, whole foods benefit your body so much because, I know that there's supplements. They talk about things, and we do carry some of them in my household. We do keep echinacea on hand, which tends to boost your immune system, zinc, vitamin C. But if you can supplement all you want, but if your general nutrition isn't great, again, your microbiome isn't going to support your immune system, and you're probably going to get sick. So keep that in mind. Other things that you can really do: avoid excess alcohol use. Actually, it has shown that it actually reduces your white blood cell count, which of course helps to kill germs. Another one I found really interesting, going a little quickly back to nutrition, I just read a study that they had, and make sure I read this right, in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. They found that the ability of white blood cells to kill bacteria is significantly hampered up to 5 hours after eating approximately 100 grams of sugar, which is about what's in 3 sodas. So again, when you're ingesting a lot of junk and highly processed foods, including sugar, refined sugar, your body really doesn't have the ability to fight off all the things that are in the area. So again, I really feel that so many things can be resolved through nutrition that really needs to be one of the first things that we look at. So we talked about excessive alcohol. How about lack of sleep? The circadian rhythm is an amazing thing. Your body really responds to sleep and what it has to do when you fall asleep. Because those of us that are trying to grow muscle know that we need to get the right amount of sleep. We need to hit that deep sleep. That's where our body releases our growth hormone. But also, that's where our body rebuilds. It's where our immune system resets and recovers. So if you're not getting enough sleep, we find that your immune system can really be deficient in helping prevent our bodies from getting all of the stuff that's out there. So that's a huge, huge portion of it. There's been a lot of research on shift workers. And granted, I know that those jobs have to be covered, but they find such a high incidence of disease and illness in people who don't sleep, especially with, again, the circadian rhythm is just your ability to be asleep at night when the sun is down and then awake when the sun is up. And there's certain things and systems that your body actually relies on because of that. And so when we have the opposite schedule where we tend to not sleep at night, our body doesn't hit that deep sleep and we don't get those systems that reset. And that can, again, really hamper our immune system. So again, I think people really dismiss that as being such an important option, but it is a huge part of it. And of course, lack of exercise can make a difference, as well as lack of water. And I'm going to put these two together because, our body has to flush out the bacteria that we do come in contact with. And if we're super sedentary and we're not giving our system the hydration that it needs, it has no ability to flush that bacteria out. So by adding a little bit of exercise, getting our blood flow going is a huge help. And also, getting enough water to eliminate the toxins that do tend to enter our body. Now, our liver does a great job at dealing with that, but we also have to help it along by helping keep our body as efficient as possible, right? So that's an important part. We really want to help promote the process of expelling toxic waste through, again, blood flow and also hydrating our body. Another one is, medications and antibiotics. most of us have heard that, antibiotics we can really quickly become accustomed to them. Our body doesn't respond to them as if we take it too often. And part of the problem is that those antibiotics kill both the bad bacteria, but also the good bacteria as well. So it's not always appropriate to have antibiotics. Now, I'm not a doctor, so don't think that I'm telling you not to take antibiotics. But sometimes our bodies need to actually run through the system. They need to figure it out. They need to learn how to fight those off. So that can be a big part of it. But a lot of medications are highly toxic to the body. And so they tend to suppress the immune system as well. And so again, there's times where it's absolutely appropriate. We need to take the medication. You should never stop taking medication unless your doctor tells you to. But just know that can actually hamper your immune system as well. And of course, a big one is smoking. There are things that we tend to, it's hard enough to keep ourselves clean. There's stuff in our beauty products. There's stuff in our foods. There's so much that comes into our system that's toxic that it's really hard to eliminate everything that affects us. But, just by making some decent basic choices, you can really at least boost your immune system to the best of your ability. And then, of course, everything in balance, right? So obviously smoking is toxic. It's already been proven to be toxic. Not your best option, but it definitely lowers your ability to fight off infections and bacteria. So it's a pretty easy theory or topic to talk about. It's do their best to eat healthy, eat clean, exercise, sleep well. I mean, really, if you eat, sleep, and treat yourself well, that's your best option and your best ability to boost your immune system. So if you've been super sick already this season, take a look at some of the things and maybe, over the holidays, I know we indulge a little bit. Maybe we need to back off of that just a little bit, eat a little healthier, get our immune system up and running so that we can hopefully stay healthy for the rest of the winter. So have an incredible day, you guys. I am going out with my daughter for my birthday dinner. So we're taking off pretty quick here, but have an incredible week and we'll talk to you next time. Bye now.